Before we move on, I'd like to talk about crashing. We've had a go at that ourselves in this series, but for a scientific way of doing it, you need to turn to the Euro NCAP people. They're an independent body, they test cars, and then they tell you how safe they are.
They do.
And we've got the results from this year's crop of cars here. Now, the essence is, when it started a few years ago, they had a 5-star safety rating, which they thought would be unachievable.
Yeah,
no car would ever do that. Yeah. Renault Laguna was the first to do it. Yeah. This year's results. 5 stars has been awarded to the Vauxhall Astra, the Renault Megane convertible, the Volkswagen Golf, the Peugeot 407, the Saab convertible, Volvo S40, and the Toyota Corolla Verso. They've all got 5 stars.
Kind of nearly all cars, really. It's getting a bit like those A-level results every year, isn't it? When all of a sudden everybody gets it.
Have you ever been to school? Yeah, have 30 A-levels.
I got 10 this year.
Absolutely. So what they've started concentrating on now is pedestrian rating, is how safe you are if you get hit by one of these things. In essence, and I'm choosing the top 2 here, if you find yourself in the middle of a dual carriageway and there are 2 cars coming towards you, a Honda Jazz and a Vauxhall Astra, leap in front of the Jazz.
Yeah.
This would be my suggestion, because you're going to be okay. In front of the Astra,
Add it.
It's kind of curtains, really.
That's useful advice.
Yeah, it is, except for one thing. I don't really care about pedestrians.
It's not going to be a popular view, that one, Jeremy.
It's not, but let me explain. You see, the thing is, the Vauxhall Astra, OK? Sticking with these 2 cars. 5-star for people in the front, 4 for people in the back, 1 star for pedestrian ratings, OK? So you think, OK, Honda Jazz, slightly less safe in the front, slightly less safe in the back, much better for pedestrians. Now look, in order of people I care about, my children are number 1.
Yeah.
I'm number 2, me. Yeah. Number 3, James coming out of the pub a bit drunk.
Yeah.
You know, run him down.
I see where you're going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Actually, though, we have got these results here.
Yes, while we've got them.
While we've got them, if anybody here has got a car, they'd like to know how safe it is, officially.
Not for pedestrians, obviously. Who cares about that?
Yeah. Well, we'll tell you how safe it is. Anyone got a car? What have you stolen this week?
Renault Clio.
A Renault Clio you've stolen. Which one is it?
96.
A 1996 one he's nicked.
2 stars. You've had it, mate. Sorry.
Go and nick something else.
Yeah.
Would be my suggestion. How is it?
That's good advice. You could save his life.
Yeah, exactly. You know, just like that. Anybody else got their hands up? Yeah, lots of hands coming up now as we're starting. Yeah, what have you got?
Westfield.
Well, they're not going to bother. How many of those?
Do you think that Euro NCAP are going to bother testing a web? Did you buy that for safety purposes?
No.
No. So shut up and don't ask me a silly question.
An X-Trail.
A what?
An X-Trail.
A Nissan X-Trail.
I bet that's...
This is an interesting area. I was looking at this. This is off-road stuff. It's a good car, the X-Trail.
4 stars.
Is 4 stars and 2 stars if you run someone over. And that's interesting, because all of the off-road cars, apart from that, the Honda CR-V and the Volvo XC90 kill you.
Suzuki Vitara.
The Suzuki Vitara.
Suzuki Vitara is... where is
pedestrian safety. Are you ready for this? I've got it here. Suzuki Grand Vitara, pedestrian safety, 0.
Don't even go near... Don't walk...
If you just brush past... Well, I'm dead.
You see, if I'd done that, it would have killed me.
Exactly. If you were near a Grand Vitara, you're dead.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Alpha 156, that's going to be near the front here. Alfa Romeo 147's the only one they've done. Oh dear, 3-star.
Yeah.
3-star. In fact, you're better off, if you're going to have an accident, get out, run round in front of it and let it run you over.
That's an interesting theory.
It's just, I'm going to hit a tree. Get in the way, you're safer.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on a minute. What Mercedes? It'll break.
C200.
A C200. That'll break down before you get to the scene of the accident.
4 stars, something like that.
What year? Old one, because if it's a new one, it's a 5-star car, the new one. 94, cheerio. Thanks very much. See you, just really slowly. Don't leave after him tonight, you're going to be stuck for hours, going about 3 miles an hour. Oh, that's probably enough now, is it?
Yeah, it gets boring after a while.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Most people believe that all modern cars behave about the same in an accident. Well, I'm sorry, that simply isn't the case. What I've got here is a Toyota Avensis. Now, this is a Euro NCAP 5-star car, as good as it gets. It's been crashed into a deformable concrete block at 40 miles an hour in a laboratory. And if we come round here, we find that the seat has barely moved, the steering wheel has barely moved, and crucially, the door still closes. Now that shows us that this bit, the bit where you're actually sitting, hasn't crumpled up at all.
Now, suddenly we start to see the differences between these cars. This is a Proton Impian. It's been put through exactly the same crash. 40 miles an hour, deformable concrete barrier in the same place. And straight away, I can barely open the door. Now, that's not just inconvenient. It shows it's been bent out of shape round here, which means the cabin itself has been deformed. And that's where you'd be. And if we look inside, we can start to see why this is a 3-star car. Things like this, the brake pedal, it's been shoved right up here. Your foot would have been on there. Now, that would damage your ankle, it could damage the cruciate ligaments in your leg, which is bad. Worse still, the steering wheel has been shoved back. Now, that can damage your chest, which could be a lot worse.
So, the Proton is a little bit less money than the Avensis. And if you want to save a little bit of money, go ahead.
And you can't tell just by looking at the cars which will do best. This is a small car, a Ford Fiesta. It's been put through exactly the same crash, 40 miles an hour, deformable concrete barrier. And if we look inside, we can see immediately why this is a 4-star car. It's not too bad in here. And that's because it's been designed to withstand it and to send the energy around you and protect you. It's actually got bars running through here, which is why it's pretty much the same shape as it was before the crash. There are bars running along the door to send the energy around you, and the structure of the floor itself means all the energy goes from the front, the crash, around you.
Compare that now to this Land Rover Freelander. This is the kind of car that families buy. If we come round here, we find that this pillar, where it meets the roof, has crumpled. So any more speed, woof, that'll go. The roof has given up the ghost here. Even the door has had it. And look how much that has folded up. And if we open it, the seat has moved, the steering wheel's moved, the pedals have moved. Now, you've got a daughter, haven't you?
Yep.
Would you let her go in a 3-star car, which is what this is, now that you've seen this?
And that's exactly the effect these crash tests have. You just think, no, it changes the way you look at cars completely. It's a big, chunky family car, and
It is unbelievable. Does anybody here want to know, because we've got a list, actually, of the Euro NCAP results here. Does anybody want to know how their car fared?
MGZT.
An MGZT. Let's have a look. That's basically a Rover 75.
Okay. I've got it. There you go.
Rover 75,
it did 4
2000,
stars.
that's a 4-star car. So that's
pretty good.
basically the same as the Fiesta. So you're okay. You can have an accident on the way home. Anybody else? Yeah.
A4.
An Audi A4. Have you done that?
Yeah, I got it.
You got the Audi A4?
That again, if it's 2000, well, here's what happened. Here's the difference of a few years, mate. 97, 2-star.
What year's your car?
2003.
2000 new
Suddenly
car.
it's a 4-star.
That's a 4-star car. So it's like the Fiesta. It's not as safe as the Avensis, but it's not bad. You can crash into another A4, you'll be all right. Anyone else? A what?
Daewoo Nexia.
A Daewoo Nexia. Have you got a Daewoo Nexia? No, they haven't bothered. Anyone else? Mercedes C-Class. That's a 5-star one, isn't it?
Yeah.
A new one.
99.
Oh, a 99.
Ah, well, it'll be interesting to see how it differs. Mercedes C-Class, unless it's after 2001 when it became 4 stars, it is a 2-star car.
So have you got what year's yours?
99.
Yeah, it's 2 stars.
99.
Yeah.
Really drive carefully on the way home. My suggestion to you is if something pulls out, really brake hard, okay? A 2-star car, you really don't want to be crashing. Seriously. Has anyone here got a Ford Escort? You've got a Ford Escort?
Cosworth.
Doesn't matter. Goodbye. Yeah, you've got a Bentley Turbo. Do you know, I bet they haven't crashed one of those. Have you crashed a Bentley Turbo?
I bet they got to the day and thought, no, I can't.
No, the Bentley Turbo went through the concrete block, through the barrier, and carried on, nobody knew.
Still going.
And it's still having an accident, yeah?
Citroen Saxo.
A Citroen Saxo. That's kind of like a carrier bag, isn't it?
It's a
Have you done a Citroen Saxo?
Yeah, it's in here, Jeremy. It's a 2-star.
That's a 2-star car.
Whoops.
Now, honestly, how does that make you feel, knowing now that you've got a car which is going to behave in an accident worse, that this is a 3-star car here, okay? The Freelander's 3-star, yours is 2-star. How does it make you feel?
Very nervous.
You mean, it is a strange thing about safety, is you just, when you see that, you think, well, I've no need to have a car, because if you had a Fiesta, you know, you could have an accident, same accident as you do in the Citroen, and you'd be okay.
The thing is, there's no guarantees that any of these cars will behave how they're said to in this list, but you've got to admit it makes some pretty interesting reading. And if you want to know more, the next round of NCAP results are out in about a week.